In this video, we are going to review a process of solving proportions using cross multiplication. The steps to solving with cross multiplication are very straightforward. They involve first cross multiplying. We'll talk about that in a moment. It basically means to multiply the opposite corners and then set them equal to each other. And then when we're done with the cross multiplication, we're going to divide both sides by what the variable is being multiplied by. That may not make a lot of sense if you haven't done this before, but let's first cross multiply the x and the 2. This is what I mean by multiplying the opposite corners. And I always like to start with the one involving the x, because the x is what we don't know. We're trying to find out what x is. So we multiply x and 2, and we get 2x. We're going to use an equal sign then, and then we multiply the other corners. And in this case, when it's just the numbers being multiplied together, you might as well do that with your calculator and find out what that number is. 10 times 5 is 50. So that completes step 1. Step 2 is to divide both sides by what x is being multiplied by. In this case, it's 2. So we divide both sides by 2. And we get x is equal to 50 divided by 2, which is equal to 25. All right. Let's take a look at a few more problems. At the top, I have some kind of classic, just math proportion problems. And at the bottom, I have proportion problems that are kind of hidden in a word problem. But let's try these concept problems here. We're going to multiply x and 3, because I always like to start with the x. I'm going to pick the product that involves the x first, 3x, and then we're going to multiply these two. 2 times 9. 2 times 9 is 18. Now we divide both sides by 3. Because x is being multiplied by 3, we want to cancel that out. And we get x is equal to 18 divided by 3, which is 6. Let's take a look at problem 2. Once again, I look at my different cross products, and I want to start with the one that involves the x. And notice that the x is in a different position here. It's in the bottom right. It doesn't matter. We're just going to multiply the cross products. It's going to have very little to do with how we solve this. 4 times x. Then we move over to here, and we multiply 5 and 32. 5 times 32 is 160. We notice that x is being multiplied by 4, so we divide both sides by 4. That cancels this out, leaves us with x is equal to 160 divided by 4, which is equal to 40. X must be 40 in this proportion. Something else that I want to point out is that if you want to check that answer, just do the division on both sides. Divide 4 by 5. Often you will get a decimal for this answer. In this case, you would get 0.8. And then divide 32 by our answer, 40, to see if you also get 0.8. If you do, then you found the right answer. If you don't, then go back to the drawing board and try to find your mistake. All right, I'm going to change my color for these other two problems down here. So when we're setting up the proportion on our own in a word problem, first of all, we have to find a ratio. Notice that in each one of these other problems, they gave us a ratio. Right here, 9 to 3. Right here, 4 to 5. We're looking for that kind of a ratio in the word problem. Your car uses 10 gallons of gas to go 300 miles. Gallons to miles. And I could have done miles to gallons. It doesn't matter. We're going to get the right answer either way. So don't spend too much time thinking about that. But here is the ratio that they gave us. 10 gallons to 300 miles. Now, we set that equal to the other side. We're creating our proportion here. And we know that on the other side, we're going to have a number that we don't know, and we're going to let that be X. We either don't know the gallons or we don't know the miles. So we look at the rest of the problem. How many gallons? It should say gallons there. It says gallon. That's going to be X. Will it take to go 750 miles? So we can put 750 right here. We always want to keep the miles on the bottom and the gallons on the top because that's the way we started. Now we just go back to cross multiplying and solving. We handled the word problem part of this. We have 300 times X must be equal to 10 times 750. 10 times 750 is 7,500. And then we divide both sides by what X is being multiplied by. These are bigger numbers than we dealt with before, but that doesn't matter. We're using our calculator anyway. 300 divided by 300 cancels out. And X is equal to 7,500 divided by 300, which gives us an answer of 25. 25 gallons to go 750 miles. Okay, let's look at problem number 4. This looks different because obviously it has to do with a recipe for making cookies, but the principle of solving this is the same. We are first looking for, we know that we're going to set up something like this. And we're looking for the ratio that they gave us. 2 cups of sugar to make 36 cookies. So I'm going to put cups on top and cookies on the bottom. 2 cups, 36 cookies. Now we know that something's going to be missing. We're looking for a number. How many cups of sugar will be needed? So we don't know the number of cups, but we do know that we are going to make 54 cookies. There we have it. We have our proportion. Let's cross multiply. 36 times X is 36X. 2 times 54 is 108. Now we divide both sides by what X is being multiplied by, which is 36. 36. We cancel that out. X is equal to 108 divided by 36, which is 3 cups of sugar. All right, I hope that helps. Good luck with your practice.